In this video, you will learn how to use filters in Google Sheets. There is three types of functionality available for filtering. The first is the traditional method of filtering, filter feature, where we click on filter icon and then apply filters to adjacent columns. Now this filter feature has a major drawback that when your team members will look at your sheet, they will see the sheet in a filtered view if you have applied a filter. They can then modify the filter or they can turn off the filter, and in most cases they will, because if they are collaborating and try to participate in their own part, so they will have to do that, which makes this feature essentially useless. This feature can still be used for quick filtering and looking at your data, but not as a permanent part of your Google Sheet. The better way would be to save your filters in filter views, and filter views will be saved and will be visible as a menu item in your Google Sheet, and your team members will still be able to apply those filters if they want and they have access. But you can do something to protect your filters. For example, you can name your filters with your own name or with your department name, so that your team members will not touch those filters or at least not modify those filters. So in this way, you can repeatedly apply those filters to your data and look at your data. The third functionality we have is filter function, and this is by using filter function and some associated functions in your formulas. And these functions, for example, sort or sort n, these functions can also be used in conjunction with filter function to make some good filters in your data sheet. And this method is very useful when you can put your data at a separate tab or in another location and you want to filter your master spreadsheet. In this video, I will cover first two methods, and in the next video, I will cover the third method. So let's get started. Now this is my sheet in which I have students' names, their first and last names, and their marks in three subjects, and then their result. Assume that we are three teachers collaborating on this sheet: a science teacher, English teacher, and math teacher. These results are calculated whether the marks of the students are greater than or equal to 40, then the students will be passed, but in all subjects. So as you can see, this is the condition, that if student has less than 40 marks, student will get F or fail, otherwise pass. So the purpose of showing this to you is that these P and F are not some data values, these are coming from some formula. And let us see, I want to apply a filter on this data. This filter can be applied to a single column or to a set of adjacent columns. First, I apply filter to this column G. So if I select this column, and then this is filter icon, so create filter, I click on create filter, and now it's completely shaded. And you will also see a green color appearing here and on the side. Another thing you can notice is that there are three lines here now. So if I click here, now I can sort these values and I can select whether I want all the entries where students are failed or passed. If I want to see only the students who have passed, I will uncheck this F and I will click OK. And now I will see only the students who have passed. In total, I have 50 students. So out of those, these students have passed. If I want to modify this filter, I click here again, and in this column we have only two types of entries, so it is very easy to uncheck one. But if you have, for example, 20 types here, then the best way to apply filter is first clear, so it will clear everything, and then you select whatever you want. So this is the simplest filter, which is applied by just selecting what type of entries you want. So in order to remove this filter, I hover here and it will show me turn off filter, and if I click now, the filter will be turned off. As you can see, these lines have disappeared, green color, and the icon has changed. Now let us apply a filter to all this data. So I select all these columns, I click on create a filter, and now I see all columns are green and these lines are appearing on every column. Now if you click outside, now filter has applied. Now if I click here in column B, I have few options. As you can see here that I have all the values in this column. And for example, if I want to check the result for only these two students, I should first clear and then select these two and apply the filter. And now I clear all this and now select all and I say OK. Now all students are here. Now let's again apply another filter, and this time I want to sort students in ascending order from A to Z with their first name. So I click here and now all the student names will be in the alphabetical order in this column based on this column. Now I want to look for students who have passed in English and math but failed in science. To create that filter, I have to click in the math area, and now I will filter by condition. And the condition will be that the marks are greater than or equal to 40 in the math subject. If I click OK, now all these students, I can scroll down up to the end. Now all these students in the math column, they have marks greater than 40. And you see here this filter has been applied. So you will see a filter sign here, while no filter has applied to other columns. I want to filter it down further for students who have passed in English as well. So again, filter by condition. Condition is that marks are greater than or equal to and value is 40. Okay. Now in this column, we have students who have greater than 40 marks in English. Now I want to apply a filter for students who have failed in science. Again, filter by condition. Marks are less than 40. So now the condition is less than and the value is 40. So all the entries who are less than 40 will appear by applying this filter. Okay. Now these are the students who have failed in science but passed in other two subjects. So let us say I am a science teacher. So I am interested in students who have passed in other subjects but failed in my subject. Now if I leave this filter on and then a math teacher comes and he will see the spreadsheet in this form because filter has applied and filter has applied to these three columns. He will be able to see them. He will be able to modify them, and because he is a math teacher, maybe he wants to see the students who have failed in math while passed in English and science. So most probably he will have to modify this filter. So this method of filtering is not very useful in most situations, because even if he wants to see the full spreadsheet, he will have to turn off the filter. For these type of situations, when we are collaborating with team members, we should create our own filter views, and this is what we are going to learn next. So let us turn off this filter. Now the filter has turned off, and if I hover, I can see create a filter and the icon has changed. So now let us create a filter view. Now to create a filter view, I can select these columns, and then if I hover over this little triangle, it will show me filter views. So I can click here and then create a filter view. Now you will notice that a gray bar will appear here, and on the left hand side we have this gray area. All columns are grayed. This means that we are in a filtered view, and here is the name of the filter. For example, I am interested in students who have failed in science. So I can put name of my subject and then failed. So this is my filtered view. If I click outside, now this filtered view is here. I can create my filtered for students who have failed in science. I click on this science, filtered by condition, less than is the condition and 40 is the value in this column. So look for values less than 40 and click OK. Now these are the students who have failed in science. So this is my filter. Now in order to come out of this, I just need to close this from here. And now my full spreadsheet is visible. And if I am collaborating with math and English teachers, they will see this full spreadsheet and they will not see any filter here. There is the filter icon is normal. There is no filter icon here. But if they click here in filtered views, they can see what filters are applied by science teacher, because we can have a convention that all filters applied by a science teacher will start with the word science, and a math teacher or an English teacher should not touch these filters. But they can still see if anyone clicks on this science field, this filter will be applied and data will be presented. So this is a more sophisticated way of creating filters by saving in filter views. If you want to delete this filter view, then click on this gear icon and click delete. And now this filtered view has been deleted, and if I click here, there is no filtered view in this area. So this is how you can create filters and filter views in Google Sheet. And now you can download this file and do a class activity, and your activity will be find students who have got marks between 40 and 60 in science but failed in English. So this is your class assignment for this video.